What about this? Mm, I don't know, but we should be live right about now.
Oh, wow.
Should be in the
Just
house.
like that.
Make sure you on IG.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep, you going.
Fantastic.
We are cooking, yep, on both, I see. So,
Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. So Matt,
what's
we
up?
are live and
We are.
in living color, man, aren't we?
It must be Wednesday.
Beautiful thing.
So,
It is a beautiful
thank
thing.
y'all for tuning back in this Wednesday, April 16th, I think.
Yeah,
April
it's the 16th. It's the 16th.
We got a little Rye Wednesday going on.
That we do.
Rye Wednesday.
Rye Wednesday, folks. As you see, it's all rye up here on the table. Let's get those bottles situated so you can see them in a decent fashion there.
Got some new faces for bottles on the table, and a couple you've probably seen before. So yeah, it should be a good time.
Should be a good time, man. Well, let's see. We'll of course start out by just wishing you all a happy Whiskey Wednesday. And also here in DC, it is Emancipation Day today on this April 16th, 2025. I believe it was 1863 that President Lincoln signed that bill into place. And so shout out to all of DC. Happy Independence. I'm sorry, Emancipation Day.
Just doing audio check.
Yeah. Okay. We're good on good on audio. All right. Good check, Matt. Good check. For sure. We also be remiss if I don't mention just a happy birthday, now belated because it was yesterday, to my big cousin. If you come in the chats, you would have seen him, Mr. Tyrone Powell. Happy birthday to you on tax day, April 15th. Every year is his birthday, so always have to shout him out around this time of the year. Hope everybody got the taxes in. The tax returns in, right?
Yeah.
Indeed. It can be a stressful time of the year for some.
Yeah.
But when those individuals who get it done early, good for you. I wasn't too late, getting mine done this year. So kudos to that. We also just have to kind of make a little quick announcement, little commercial break. Everybody who's out there, head when you get a moment to chatsdc.com/countdown. It's on the menu list, so you should be able to see that. But go to chatsdc.com/countdown, where we have a list of products, wines, spirits, and within spirits, it could be whiskeys, of course, rums, gin,
Tequila.
brandy, tequila, whatever it might be, right? Every week, there will be a countdown of the price. There are 3 different categories right now, a $10 category, $5 category, and a $1 category. Well, the products that are on this list every week usually will happen on a Monday. The prices will be reduced on those products by that denomination. So we actually started last week. So this week, the $10 denominations for week 1, now in week 2. So instead of it being a $10 discount for those products, it's a $20 discount. You'll see that at checkout. Same happens for the $5 and the $1. Although we just opened up the $5 this week. So we're on week 1 for all the $5 productions.
And one of the ones that's $10, now week 2, so it's $20 off, is sitting on the table. So stay tuned and you'll get to hear us talk about it, and maybe it'll maybe hearing that rating might push you over the edge to go pull the trigger and buy the bottle.
Pull the trigger, absolutely. Yeah, it's at $20 off this week. If it makes it till next week, it'll be $30 off, right? So it's one of those things you really never know when it's gonna go, and which I think is some of the excitement about the countdown list. Is that it's kind of a fun little interactive way to get in here, not only get some great whiskeys, but keep up with the list, allow it to count down week by week, and we'll see what we have. But what's the little
You
tagline
know,
on that?
the longer you wait, the sweeter the deal. But wait too long,
And it might be gone, right? And it might be gone. Absolutely. Matter of
Yep.
fact, let's see if we can just kind of bring in. Can I bring in that page
Oh, let's see.
somehow?
Oh,
Maybe.
good. What happens if you put that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go to the chat's countdown list, folks. And so,
Yeah. Oh,
so
look at
here
that.
we go.
Heck
Right
yeah.
here we go. And so as you see, this is the countdown list right here at chatsdc.com. And yeah, as we look on the $10 drop category, you'll see some Valdecava. That's a 3-liter bottle, a double magnum of Valdecava, Brunello de Montalcino, 2010. It's a 3-liter bottle.
What a great bottle to bring to Easter this weekend.
It's a great bottle.
Look right there. You got the whole family coming. You want to make a statement?
There you go.
Grab that ball for Easter.
But if it doesn't move for Easter, maybe, 4th of July will roll around.
Oh, yeah.
If it doesn't sell, then maybe it'll roll around to Thanksgiving, right? Absolutely. Who knows what the price will be by then? That's many weeks away, and that multiplied by $10 each week could be something fun. Well,
Just
you
a
also
quick
see.
thing, I want to make sure people know, because the first time I pulled it up, there's the little arrows to scroll on in each category. So don't just what shows up initially isn't everything. Be sure and click them arrows to scroll.
Swipe right or left or click your arrows, But if you're on your phone, just swipe, right?
Yeah.
The Whistle Pig Boss Hog is on the list. And as you see, this bottle that we have right here today, and matter of fact, we only have one bottle remaining of this whiskey. And so when it's gone, folks. But Midwinter's Night Dram is on there. And we just added this week the Penelope Rio, part of their Cooper series. Straight bourbon whiskey finished in those Amberana and honey casks, right? So fun stuff there. You'll see a $5 drop. There's some fun things on there as well. And gosh, even this grapefruit crema liqueur from Minnesota is on the list. It's regularly $35. This week it's $30.
Yeah.
If it waits till next week, it'll be $25. Week after that, $20, all the way down to $5, right? So keep your eye on this list, folks. Here's a $1 drop list. I'm so sorry, I'm scrolling so fast. But you will go to chatsdc.com/countdown and check it out for yourself. Well, back to the scheduled programming here. Enough with the commercials.
Hey, no, it's great.
Yeah. I'm going to hydrate a little bit, Matt. What's going on with you this week, though, man?
Man, not a whole lot. Just, been working on some fun projects with the crew over there at Lost Whiskey. So be sure and also follow them on Instagram, because we'll be posting a video of what we've been working on. Some super fun stuff coming. And, dumping some barrels of whiskey and stuff like that. So, been a good week, and now about to get into drinking some whiskey.
That's right, man.
That's what we're all here for, right? I mean, y'all are here to listen to us and watch us drink whiskey.
And hopefully you're drinking some whiskey as well, right, folks? Hopefully y'all are out there sipping on something.
Let us know what you're sipping on.
That's right.
Wine, whiskey, juice, water. Let us know in the comments,
There you go. All of that, right? Okay, so we're going to get into it. And
pour whiskey in the glass.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. Going to be the first one up.
Wax going to come
and,
on next.
Oh, it's wax. All right.
That's a whole signature thing for certain individuals. So, we are starting off with a Sazerac rye single barrel. So, Bernie's got it up on the screen. This is the now term use in the whiskey world for people, for a bottle such as this that you see on the screen
here.
Is a Tater sticker. When you have a group or a entity that does a single barrel and they put a fun sticker on it, now the terminology is called a Tater sticker on the bottle.
Nice.
So this one was picked by a national whiskey group, but it's actually based out of here in the DMV. So yeah, and they go by the name Capital Tater Society, a little bit of a if you know, you know kind of group, and I happen to know. So, but yes,
You are in the know,
super,
right?
super fun. So we are talking, Sazerac rye coming from Buffalo Trace Distillery. Also, thoughts and prayers go out to anyone
Oh
who
man, right?
involved in, dealing with flooding or recovering or anything like that. It's a terrible, uh, terrible event that happened there with the floods in Kentucky recently. That was just a week ago, I guess.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I
Um,
know, devastating for folks down in that area.
yeah, definitely. So
Hmm.
hate to see it and hope for a speedy recovery from everyone who was affected by it.
For sure,
Definitely.
for sure. Absolutely.
But you know, Sazerac rye is definitely not considered a premium product. It is more of a regular everyday sipper. Comes in at a great price point typically. Typically you're looking at that 30-ish dollar price point, give or take. Depending on where you find it, depending where it is. Anywhere I'd say 30 to 40-ish range.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
but this bottle I think is a great example of the variety you can have in single barrels. You hear me and Bernie talk a lot, and Zoe and everyone on here, about how much we love single barrels or look for single barrels or how exciting a single barrel is. And I think this bottle is kind of a great display of that, with not saying it's going to always make it, like in this example, not saying this bottle is necessarily going to get a significantly higher rating than their standard batch product would. I think this will, but it might not.
Yeah.
But it tastes so much different. And it's super fun. It's exciting to be able to change it up and things like that. Sometimes, yeah, you love it way more than the standard. Sometimes maybe it's different enough or funky enough where you don't like it as much, but it is just always fun and exciting to have that little change up. So yeah, I'm about to start. Bernie's
Absolutely. Yeah. Let's get into it. Let's get into it.
working on some
It's
stuff.
kind of beautifully spicy, but at the same time, I think they're the kind of floral, zesty spices lead, as opposed to a heavy black pepper like
Hmm.
spice or or what do you call it, corn pepper esque,
Yeah.
profile. So I
So
do.
what I've kind of, well, I didn't mean to kind of cut you off on the
It's
tail
all
end
good.
there.
Go for it, man.
No, what I kind of it's got a little bit of a like corn syrupy sweet, like a syrupy sweetness, but not like a
Yeah.
maple syrup, like literally a corn syrup sweetness to it.
Uh-huh.
Which is what I think one of the things that makes it real interesting, especially for a rye. But I mean, it shows the rye spice,
Hmm.
but there is, um, yeah. So,
So I wonder, with this one, right?
yeah,
The mash bill, if there is indeed some corn, or what level of corn it is, and I think I definitely could sense some. If this is correct, then you're talking about 51 rye, 39% corn, 10% malted barley. Now, of course,
which would make
there
sense.
are, yeah, 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 because you're getting that sweet corn profile that you mentioned,
Hmm.
and I'm getting a little less of the kind of intensity of the black spices, right?
Yeah.
And peppers from it. It it really does evolve and give you kind of a generous sweet note, um, stylistically, some florals there that are nice, some kind of maybe like sage and a little bit of kind of those lighter green herbs,
Yeah.
right? All right, I'm gonna give it a sip now.
Yeah. The palate has changed a bit. I just opened this bottle, I think this past weekend. I'm
Hmm.
pretty sure.
Hmm.
Um, within the last 2 weeks. I'm pretty sure in the last week I opened it.
Mm-hmm.
And the craziest thing is, and so the individuals who picked this barrel gave this tasting note, and I was like, oh, sure, you read about people throwing out a wild description of a bottle, and you're like, yeah, no way. Yeah, right. Like, there's no way that's accurate. And it was just straight watermelon Jolly Rancher when I fresh cracked this bottle. And so Ellie had no idea nothing about this, any of it. I poured her a glass, and I said, tell me what it tastes like. She's like, it tastes like a Jolly Rancher, like a watermelon one or something. I was like, that's insane. But right now, I'm not necessarily... I mean, since it's in my head, I can see, but it's nowhere near drinking like it was when it was freshly opened.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I like it a lot right now.
That you just said that, like literally in the finish, I'm getting so much of that Jolly Rancher-esque note that you mentioned, man.
And I still, I mean, it's still there, just not near as at the forefront as it was on a fresh crack.
Yeah.
But like, I would never think to get a flavor like that out of a rye whiskey. But
correct. And I don't know if I've ever tasted a Sazerac straight rye that had this flavor profile.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've gotten that from a Sazerac rye, straight rye in the past. Absolutely. Yeah. So shout out definitely to Buffalo Trace Distillery. They're in Frankfort, Kentucky. After the crazy flooding that happened down there. I'm so mad because I haven't gotten down there yet. And I'm like, come on now. Don't let there be a disaster.
Don't wash away before
like
you
a
make
Buffalo
it out
Trace
there.
before I can get down there. So
hey, but
that just certainly put on my to-do list a little bit higher to get down there to Frankfurt, right?
They already opened their doors back up.
Yeah, good.
I think it was literally yesterday or 2 days ago, something like that. They just opened doors back up.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people were bummed because they were supposed to be drawing for their single barrel program this week, and it got postponed to next month because of the flooding.
Oh wow!
So a lot of people were hoping to find out if they were going to be able to get a barrel of Sazerac, Buffalo Trace, Eagle Rare, whatever, and it got postponed for 30 days because of the flooding. So,
well, I do love the texture of this. I mean, there is a reason why people will search for the Sazerac rye because the quality is there, right?
Yeah.
Has nice oils, nice legs.
I was about to say the legs.
They're richer and slower moving, and so that does provide a nice coat on the palate. And there's enough corn in there to give it the sweetness, which makes it really approachable. But at the same time, the complexities of the whiskey are super nice as well. And definitely easy drinking, right?
I mean, I'm really impressed by this. And I think it goes to show similar to like when you go, anytime you see a single barrel store pick that Bernie has picked, when you know the individuals who are selecting a single barrel have a good palate, a good sense of whiskey, the difference in that can mean the world versus, there's some people out there who don't have a great palate for whiskey, but they're not going to turn down the chance to get a single barrel because they do typically sell well in a retail setting, but it doesn't mean that the juice inside is as desirable. But, these people have a pretty good reputation for their palate, similarly to Bernie having one of the best reputations, if not the best reputation, for picking single barrels. So it's all about trusting people, finding the right people. And
I would have cheers with you if I didn't already have my last sip, man. I appreciate that, Matt. But super good. I love the vanillins, the cinnamon, but really kind of the sweeter note that doesn't leave anything like dry spice on your palate.
Sure.
Or within the dry oak wood note. And it carries a 90 proof ABV quite nicely, I would say. Yeah.
I like
really
it.
Nice, man.
That's
I like
fun.
it as well. That's a good pick.
Yeah.
Shout out to the folks there at the Capital Tater Society for this barrel select. Matt, I'm gonna let you start the show when it comes to your rating, sir.
Cool. I think on this Sazerac rye, I like a 7.5.
Yeah.
I like a 7.5 on it.
Yeah.
For all things considered, I think it's super fun. It doesn't, but I think it's going to be fun to go this next whiskey. It doesn't offer those hardcore, in-your-face rye characteristics. So for some people who are really after that, this wouldn't be your bottle, but it's a fun change up, and especially in a lineup like this where I know one or two bottles on this table are going to fill that role. It's kind of fun doing in a flight setup like this. So I think a 7.5 on that. Solid.
Yeah.
What do you think, Bern?
Absolutely. And as I fear sneezing in a couple moments, I'm right there with you, man. When you said 7.5, I thought that was right on target. With where I am, it's super drinkable. It punches above its weight for certain. Of course, it's not always very easy to find your standard bottle of Sazerac, let alone this particular pick. They do such a fantastic job. I mean, I could really maybe dive into this and give it maybe even a 7.75. I don't know. This is drinking really well right now. It is the first sip of the night. I will say it doesn't have a ton of complexities, but it really does execute and deliver in such a balanced way that, it's an easy 7.5, maybe even up to a 7.75, as I'm just still enjoying some of these finishing flavor, I should say, of the whiskey. It's going to be interesting to kind of maybe get into some slightly more powerful ABV proof points, as we move along. But that's a 7.5 from both Matt and myself for this particular barrel select by Capital Tater Society of the Sazerac Straight Rye Whiskey at 90 proof. Good way to start the show, Matt.
For sure.
Like it. I like it a lot, man.
Well, we're going to do a quick water rinse.
Indeed we
got a few familiar faces in here. Zoe giving us an option. Maybe we'll break that out as a finisher, Zoe. He's going to go grab his bottle that he had last week out the back. I know we might. Maybe we throw that in. But, shout out Zoe. Tune in. I think he's in New Jersey, he said. Don't quote me on it. Shout out Tim Woods. Shout out GG. Tim said Matt is back. Look at that. I guess Tim's been slacking a little and didn't know that. Do you need to do a little commercial break, or are we ready to dive into the next one?
Hey, folks, let's do a quick little commercial break. And we just want to, at this time, just make mention once again to chatsdc.com/countdowns. Folks, every week there will be products added to an ongoing list of wines and spirits here at Chats DC. You can find those wines and spirits at chatsdc.com/countdown. Once again, I'll repeat that. It's running along that ticker at the bottom of the screen. But there are categories, $10, $5, and $1 currently. Every week, these products are discounted by that denomination. If it doesn't sell during that week, it will reduce itself as far, or increase the savings, the discount, by that amount again. So something that last week was on the countdown list at $10 for week 1, it is now $20 for week 2. For week 3, if it lasts on the list, then it'll be $30 of a discount. And so it's going to be a fun time. Once again, I ask you all to check out this list. There are 3 categories right now. I'll take you on that journey just once again. Absolutely. We want the countdown list. We want to add this to stage. We're having a little bit of technical difficulty there, but
make it happen.
If I could add this to the stage, that'd be great. All right, absolutely. Well, this is the countdown list, folks. So each selection drops by the dollar denomination. And once it's gone, folks. So don't take too much time. You'll see the $10 drop. We'll look at a whiskey that we're going to be enjoying later this Whiskey Wednesday, the High West Midwinter Night Dram. It is on the countdown list for $10, but we're in week 2. So that means that when you go to checkout, that is a $20 discount. You'll see a $5 discount category and a $1 discount category. So, folks, in your spare time, check it on out, but keep up with it because there might be some things that pop up there that you'll wanna go at. I'll just scroll all the way to the end. Guess what's on the list right now is the Penelope Rio, folks. The Penelope Rio is there. It's week 1 for the Penelope Rio, so $10 off right there on the countdown list. So good stuff, folks. We're going to head back to our regularly scheduled programming now and get ready for the next whiskey, folks, as Matt does a fresh crack on it.
And you ruined me because I watched you. You're the first person. And shout out to you because I like this. But I really don't know because I'd never seen someone do this before. But when they have the little security tag over the top, using your fingernail or something to cut it, instead of I've always just ripped it off and however it tears it is, but it looks terrible. And typically that's on nicer bottles that you have at Cino. Just take the 5 seconds, run your fingernail across it, and look, now you got just clean break, clean tear on this nice bottle.
Indeed.
So, we just did our water rinse. If you're drinking at home and you're moving on to your next pour, you should do a water rinse too. But I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. Just saying, if you want to be better at it, you should rinse your glass. It is recommended
to make certain that you stay hydrated, folks.
Let's see what this cork pop
between your
sounded
drams. Like. Fresh crack, folks. It's a fresh crack. Ooh, that was solid. I like that.
Very first of this bottle going to Bernie.
My man, here we are. A fresh crack on the
table
Michter's Barrel Strength Kentucky Straight Rye Whiskey. This is definitely putting me in a happy place right now, folks, because, while Michter's has been well regarded, for their products, getting their start all the way back in 1753, right?
Yeah.
Like, this has always been one of my favorite productions. Honestly, one of my favorite productions from them. I really do think that, like, just overall, Michter's does a fantastic job, top to bottom, with their rye whiskeys. Without question, their rye whiskeys just always over deliver. And whether it's their standard rye, their cask strength, their aged versions, and all, I'm just huge on it. So we're starting with the Michter's limited release barrel strength. You can go ahead and pause that if you want to, and give a hand if you want to ask, right? Or just sit it on the counter, whichever way. But this is, folks, the Michter's limited release barrel strength rye. Let me get that right. 110.2 proof points. It is a Kentucky straight, of course. And always loved the barrel strength for certain. So here we are talking about a brand that I think got its start way back in Pennsylvania in 1750s, and then made their way down to Kentucky. So they call themselves the U.S. #1, the first distillery of the United States.
Yeah. So they do call themselves that. But I'm with you. I love every product Michter's makes except for one. We're not going to name it. There is one product in particular I'm not a fan of, but I definitely am the largest fan of their rye whiskey.
Yeah.
Michter's, I think.
And I don't believe, that you say that. I don't believe that's the American. I don't believe it's the American that you're
It's not the American.
There you
it's
go.
Not the It's not the bourbon. It's not the American. It's not the rye. There's only one other option.
Sour mash, just
And now the toasted sour mash, though.
Toasted sour mash.
I can get down with the toasted sour mash. Standard sour mash. I'm so sorry, Michter's, and I like sour mash whiskeys. Don't come at me saying, "Oh, you don't like sour mash." No, I do. Okay, check yourself. Michter's sour mash, though, there's just a weird funk about it.
All right.
Just throwing it out there. But this, gosh. And here's a great thing. We've been talking about the countdown. Countdown doesn't apply to this, but this bottle is for sale at Chat's Liquors here at 503 8th Street, Southeast Washington, D.C.
Thank you very much.
There
Absolutely.
is. And I mean,
Absolutely. Now,
gosh.
here's what I'm talking about for rye, folks. This is the level of spice. It even develops with definitely just more complexity. I get a little nuttiness in this as well.
Nuttiness. The oak.
Yeah.
I mean,
the
there
way
is
that
this
oak
like depth.
evolves.
I kind of like how you said we were drinking Stag the other day, but you said it's got guts.
Yeah.
And I
yeah.
feel the same, which this one is what I do like commonly about the Michter's barrel strength is that it isn't that high of proof. You know,
Right,
this at
that's
110 where it's not in the 120s, 130s or something like that.
Yeah.
This one
yeah.
coming in at that 110 is nice.
And if I remember correctly, there may be something significant about that in that they may be going into barrel a little bit lower of the proof point.
Here's what I've read and what I've gathered from the people I know. So on their 10-year releases, they're at a standard like 98.6 proof or something like that. They're like just under 100, and it's kind of a weird proof. Michter's does a lower barrel entry proof. Don't quote me on it, but I believe it's 108. And so when they release those higher age-stated whiskeys, when they dump that barrel, it's closer to cask strength.
Right.
Versus putting it in at a 120 or 125 proof and then adding water all the way down to that. Like I said, I think it's 98.6 is what the 10 years are.
Yeah.
Or it's in that range.
Like somewhere between 100, 110, somewhere in there maybe. Or high 90s to
well, as far as
right. So that's something that I think could potentially create a situation where some of maybe the softer wood notes are able to be absorbed, and maybe that's where you're getting a little bit more of the toast, the lighter toast, maybe the nuttiness or what have you. And this particular rye also has some level of corn in it,
for
a little mash bill or what have you. But you get this like little light tinge of toasted oak that's very elegant. As it opens up is super elegant. I'm not even getting a lot of the kind of intense spice notes right now as much as I did initially when when you poured the Dram. It's really getting some beautiful barrel notes.
The nuttiness is coming through stronger to me now that it's sat for a little bit.
Yeah.
And I mean, the color is crazy, which
Correct.
Also you see, I mean,
you almost get a little bit of like this little amber like pitch, just little orange amber like note to it. The legs are slow on this, a little bit more together. I think that maybe the legs on the Sazerac may have just been a little bit more voluptuous.
Yeah, that's what there's.
But these have
there's like more of them, but they're also like faster. Where these are like thick, slow legs.
Wow. Yeah.
That's
fresh crack. Yeah. Absolutely. And cheers. Thanks, Matt, for man, bringing up Michter's barrel strength rye to Whiskey Wednesday and fresh crack in this bad boy. What a treat, folks. What a treat.
Y'all can pick up a bottle and have it at home. You can do a fresh crack at your home. Come by Chats, get the bottle.
Indeed.
Sitting on the shelf.
Yes, for sure. But yeah, what were we gonna say? I'm sorry.
Well, no. Just, and not in a negative way. I mean, that 110 proof does show on the finish.
That first sip especially,
that
right?
First sip, and I mean, we started, this is our first sip of the day, but 90 proof to 110 were not a huge jump, 10%, 20 proof points. But definitely fresh crack versus one that's been open a little bit. I mean, it's 110 proof, but it's not like too aggressive where it's turn you off to the whiskey, or it's a real, I don't know,
A real challenge, right?
yeah, or a real challenge or something. You
I
know?
agree. I agree. You definitely pick up a little bit more of the ABV with this one. It's a little. It's not quite as voluptuous across the palate. Once again, as the first one, we were talking about the legs, but that also extended to the palate and maybe even the finish. Here, you have a little bit more of a streamline, a little bit more structure, darker flavors, right? Bit more compact, bit more intense, right? That's from the color, the leg, actual progression, and how they evolve,
How
a little bit
slow,
tighter but slower, right? And that translates to the palate as well and into the finish with a higher ABV. Second go at it. Let's see what I got.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. See, because it's still it provides a nice tannic finish, but not too much so. Where sometimes I think a tannic finish can come across as bitter. It's not diving into that realm, but it does still lean in a nice cracked black pepper. I think Michter's, all their ryes are a great display of kind of a cracked black pepper characteristic.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And this one included in that. So
Indeed. Okay, delivering at 110.2 proof points. Yeah, there's some warmth there that's nice. I will say that at 110, you do get the ABV. But at the same time, if once your palate adjusts to it, there are so many other kind of underlying flavors there. The bit of corn that adds the sweetness, the toast notes, the bit of nuttiness, a little bit of citrus, almost kind of an underlying corn that gives you, I don't know. There's something that it's reminding me of that I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to pick up, but something maybe like a orange sweet cake of some sort that's kind of just underneath some of the rye tones, but it's silky, somewhat oily, nothing with too much weight on the palate though. There's a freshness kind of that this one has that cleans itself up in a bit more of a spirited, structured way. The tannins come forward. It's neat. I would certainly play around with this, maybe with a bit of water, right, to open it up a bit. If you want to make an absolute ultimate cocktail, then sure, but these ain't cheap. These are not cheap.
But if you're in that tax bracket, more power to you.
If you're in that tax
to
bracket,
be using this as your mixer,
go for it.
No joke.
But yeah, it's a great expression. I think that the Michter's rye, once again, it's always dialed in for that beautiful, spicy rye, darker extraction of barrel characteristic toast, reduced light flavors.
Yeah.
And a complexity of spices and floral as well that kind of completes the arc of flavor. So
I think kind of how Bernie, though, mentioned maybe like a tighter flavor profile to this one versus the Sazerac. But it is exactly what you want, exactly what you expect out of like a bold, traditional Kentucky rye whiskey. And
absolutely,
there is this, like, to me, this is the epitome of a rye whiskey. Well, this and throw in Willet Rye. Those are the two for me. Those are the two kings of the rye world, or when I think of a definition of rye whiskey, it's Michter's and Willet Rye. And yeah, I mean, it's great.
Yep, I couldn't agree with you more, man. Absolutely. So I'm gonna go ahead and maybe start the ratings for this one.
Yeah, you rate this one first.
I already told you it's a favorite of mine when it comes to the Michter's releases.
Mm-hmm.
The rye across the board from Michter's, in my opinion, they get every one of them right, and I will never turn away a drink, of a dram of a Michter's rye. I don't care if it's the basic, the
any of
cask strength, the 10-year, so forth and so on, right? So this one is unbelievably solid. 110.2 proof. It is a fresh crack. By sip number 3, my palate was dialed in and it was open enough. that we now hit those underlying flavors that, with a little bit of oxidation, a little bit of aeration, a little bit of opening up sitting in your Glencairn,
Yeah,
it's worthwhile, even
for
more so,
sure.
right? So yeah, I like this a lot. It's Michter's, it's their barrel strength. That number 3 really got me into my happy place. I'm going with an 8.
Oh, dang. I
I'm going with
hate
an
you.
8.
Because we're just
Yeah.
going to, I mean, that's what I want to give it.
Oh, okay,
But
okay.
I'm be 8 to 8.25.
Oh,
I'm gonna be
all
8
right.
to 8.25.
Okay.
I
Okay.
really, I mean, I'm telling you, call me what you want. Maybe you can call me a Michter's Rye fanboy. Like, I just really, when it comes to Michter's Rye, I love it. It's great. It's everything I want out of a rye whiskey 9 times out of 10. Like I said, it's fun to switch it up a little bit with something like this Sazerac where you got them sweeter characteristics. But put me at 8.25 so I just don't match you. You know, so I'm
Already
not
done, sir.
copying Bernie.
I
Put me
figured you were
down to
going
that
that.
8.25.
I figured you were going that
So,
route.
fantastic Michter's barrel strength rye. We got one bottle, just one here at Chats.
Just
Just
one
one.
left.
We got one
Yeah.
bottle of it here at Chats for sale right now.
Yep.
Come by and get one. We even look in the comments. We got Tim chiming in saying it's a banging rye.
Yes.
Couldn't
indeed.
have said it better myself, Tim.
Mhm.
Almost sounds like you stole my lingo there. You've been hanging around me too long. So,
That does sound like a Matt comment there, statement there for sure.
so yeah, I don't know what you got going across the bottom of the screen though, but it is not what we're
Oh
talking
wow!
about
Did I
right
just?
now.
Okay, I just put the wrong
There
one
you
up
go.
there.
There you
Ooh,
go.
Gosh,
No
thanks
worries.
for the catch, Matt. Because as we,
I just saw Lonzo. I was like, whoa, he's not even here.
how did Lonzo get here all of a sudden?
Yeah.
Right? Absolutely, Lonzo's not here at all. That
He
was
hacked us.
indeed. Lonzo, stop hacking
Yeah.
our Whiskey Wednesday live, man. So just to recap, folks, this fantastic bottle here, the Michter's Barrel Strength Kentucky Straight Rye Whiskey, bottled at 110.2 proof. Matt's giving it an 8.25. I gave it an 8. That means that it's good.
Yeah.
Like
It's
it.
good.
Like it a lot. Absolutely. Absolutely. Good stuff,
All
man.
right.
I tell you, as we
We
move
do another
along,
commercial
boy,
again, or
oh
no?
boy. No, I won't do a
Okay.
commercial.
Okay.
Let's go to the comments and just recap, shout folks out.
Yeah,
Pass some
yeah.
comments and
So
all.
one shout out Brian for tuning in. Shout out to Mike in the background here. Tune in. A little more personal than y'all. Shout out to Miss Rhonda Fox for tuning in.
Hey, what's up, Rhonda Fox?
Tim Woods, not Tim who said it's a banging rise. Tim Mastis. Tim Woods asks, you can answer this or not. He asked if the countdown pricing was before or after tariffs. So, shout out Tim Woods.
Good one, Tim Woods.
Yep. So yeah. Other than that, good. So
Okay.
we're doing a little water rinse. Wrapping up a water rinse. Again, if y'all want to be more like us at home, be more professional, do a water rinse as well. If not, that's okay. You just might be a loser. So, moving on. Don't mind me.
Wow.
Don't mind
That
me.
was a little harsh.
It's okay.
Is it?
It's okay. Because we love y'all and y'all love us. It's all jokes. And,
go.
come on, cleanse your palate between drams. Otherwise, you might miss out on tasting notes. You might miss out on the flavor. And it just makes it okay. Quick thing.
All that.
No, but
I
a
don't know
quick
if you need to
thing.
delve anymore into that. You didn't delve more?
But
Okay.
adding an extra step into
where
a
we going here?
tasting or a flight
Okay.
honestly makes it more enjoyable.
Uh-huh.
I think it does. And so, yes, cleansing your palate with water helps you enjoy the whiskeys more. But
Yeah.
adding the extra step, sometimes something that simple, can make it feel more intentional.
Yeah,
The
true.
tasting and the event with everyone to be like, hey, let's put a quick pause on it. Let's take a second, refresh, start over for this next dram. I think adds a different level kind of to the experience. So, more than just the technicalities, it's the vibe.
I appreciate you
setting
slowing
up.
that down, man.
So there
And,
you go.
you know, it also helps us to drink more responsibly when we have that water rinse in the mix, right? So there is always, that's always an important thing to do. Please drink responsibly, folks.
I have a certain level of beef with glass corks. So, all right.
You have mentioned that in the past, right?
Yeah. Now we are moving on to the Dream Spirits single barrel. I keep pouring yours light at first. Single barrel straight rye whiskey. And this is also, wow, this is going to be
Spirits,
terrible.
folks. Well, I'm just going to give you some background I found online. Dream Spirits is a boutique distillery that prides itself on crafting high quality small batch whiskeys that capture the essence of true craftsmanship. With a focus on unique high proof expressions, Dream Spirits meticulously selects grains, barrels, and conditions to ensure each bottle represents the pinnacle of the distillery's vision. Their single barrel cast strength rye is a prime example of this dedication, offering robust and intense flavor profile that comes directly from a single barrel. Each bottle is a unique representation of the rye whiskey's aging process and the artistry behind Dream Spirits distillation techniques. With a commitment to quality over quantity, this expression embodies the distillery's pursuit of exceptional, full-bodied whiskeys for the discerning enthusiasts. All right.
There you go. You don't even need to go to their website because Bernie just read you the whole thing.
That, right? So that's what, you know, we conjured up professionally. But Matt, give us the real on this Dream Spirits. Where is this from? Is this something local?
So, you
that
know,
somebody's putting out?
we're always going to rep DC. We're going to rep the nation's capital. And we're going to rep fellow
Retailers, entrepreneurs,
exactly. Just
bottlers.
Good people are always going to support good people. And
Indeed.
so we will shout out to Prof. Sarov. If you are aware of the spirits industry in DC, I would say Prof. Sarov and Bernie Williams are the two household names and the men who have built the foundation and the legacy for the spirits industry here in DC. And so Prof. Sarov, you know, mostly known for his unique and special single barrel picks, basically just decided to start sourcing his own barrels and making his own brand name to put on there instead of a brand name of someone else, you know? And so Dream Spirits is what he came up with. You know, on the back of the label, it does rep the nation's capital on there. And going back to, I think, with the first one, where it's like, knowing the palate or trusting the palate of the individual picking the single barrel says a lot. And so this was, at least I can guarantee that it was his first Indiana rye single barrel. I kind of think it was his first rye single barrel that he's done with the brand. But I know at least because it's Indiana 001 is the barrel number of this bottle right here. We are talking 5-year age stated, single barrel coming in at 118.2 proof. Doesn't state the mash bill, but it being an Indiana rye, we're going to take our best guess and say it's the 95.5 rye mash bill. There are a couple others offered, but that is the most commonly known and the most common to see. But also after drinking it, we might think differently.
Right.
Wild on the nose, though.
Yeah.
Creaminess. It's like butterscotch to me on the nose.
Butterscotch, cinnamon,
Yeah.
apple.
Butterscotch, cinnamon, apple.
You know, I have that caramel apple, but that's like almost a cinnamon caramal apple.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah. Vanilla for sure. I mean, this is wild to just be a 5-year Indiana rye.
Yeah. And the vanilla that Mike just in the background just made mention of, it's like take the bean and like just freshly like crushed, just kind of almost
Yeah. In a mortar
spicy
and
vanilla
pestle or something, you know, just
or vanilla
crushed
bean
it.
itself,
Yeah.
right? little bit of spicy vanilla bean.
No, for sure. I mean,
And we're talking about 118.2 proof points. I will say, straight out of the gate, like dialed back volatility of alcohol. You know, the perception of the alcohol is not perceived to be anything greater than maybe even 100, maybe even 95, right? So dialed back.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, go ahead and take your
what we have
sip.
on-
'Cause
yeah.
I just took a sip and it is crazy to me on the nose. We're going full-blown bakery, cinnamon apples, butterscotch, but then on the palate you get hit boom with them green notes, that green characteristic. Kind of like a little mint maybe.
Getting a lot of spearmint.
Yeah, I was about to say, but there's still a sweetness where you could lean it into spearmint. Yeah, this is I think most people, if you just told them this is 5-year Indiana rye whiskey, they'd be like, kind of a dime a dozen, kind of basic maybe or something.
Okay.
This bottle is nothing but that. It is completely, I mean, the complexity you get from this is wild.
Well, I like that it really leaves you with the flavor profile on the palate, like lasting seconds. Like I'm 30 seconds, 45 seconds in that flavor profile stands. It's not maybe drowned out or overshadowed by some of the structural characteristics of the oak. So there's a nice balance between like literally the extraction of the richer phenols of the distillate standing more forward than the structure of the oak in this particular whiskey.
The only real knock I can give on it is the viscosity. I wish was just a little thicker, a little more oily on the palate.
Okay.
That's the only thing. I mean the legs, well, you got some legs.
They're slow.
They're slow.
Yeah.
But on the palate, it just, and maybe it's also going from this Michter's to this as far as, you know, the viscosity level. But I really, and this bottle again, I just opened in the last 2 weeks, 10 days probably.
Well, I think one of the other things potentially that we're getting is truly a rye whiskey that I don't know if I'm really detecting much corn in there.
Yeah, which could lean you to think.
There you go. Some of those kind of richer, sweeter extractions that we had in the first one with the kind of viscosity, the legs and so forth that we had there, we just change up a little bit because we might be at either just a small bit of corn, but in my mind, I'm thinking, I don't know if it's a 90, 95. I'm thinking more 95.5 on this one. If not, then maybe a slightly higher malted barley mash bill or some very low corn profile. Maybe it'll take me another sip or two to,
you never know,
detect what that might be.
And it is hard to, I mean, when you just say a product comes from Indiana, again, we're throwing the label on there that it's MGP because they're the biggest producer out of Indiana, but they're not the only one.
They're not the only one.
You know what I mean?
Right.
They're not the only one doing it. Look who is in the house now. I am in the flesh. But some people were wondering if the video was you know, real or not. So they had to come by and see if I was an actual human being or if I was just a hologram on video. So don't mind Bernie halfway in the frame, halfway out. That's all right. I'm gonna keep drinking whiskey. So this is, yeah, I mean, would love to know what the exact mash bill of this one is, but yeah, I'd go as far, if any corn, very, very minimal. If I had to put money on it, I'd put money that there is no corn in it. And no, we do have a comment saying AI generated. Matt, not AI generated, but sometimes I look so good you might think I was. But that's okay. Yeah. So,
So shout out to Prov. Gosh, just
yeah. Shout out to Prov.
good job with Dream Spirits. There are a number of products that they've released thus far, right? A number of barrels that they've released under this Dream Spirits.
Yeah, if you wanted to, not that we ever suggest frequenting any business aside from Chat's Liquors, but
Well,
given
I
this
mean,
is his own brand,
We're
it's
just
not
whiskey.
something we can carry here.
We're just whiskey raiders at this
Exactly.
point. You know what I mean?
But
Yeah.
I believe he currently has 3 options available. He has some that sell out extremely fast. Some of them are very short barrels, only yielding. I know he did one. This is pretty crazy. That he only got 28 bottles of whiskey out of an entire 53-gallon barrel. He only got 28 bottles, 28 750s. So you're only, I mean, what, 5 750s equals 1 gallon. So I mean, you're talking, I mean, what is that? 6 gallons of whiskey in that barrel.
Wow.
So some of them very small.
That's a reduction of about 90%.
Yeah.
Wow.
He has a lot of variety, and if you're big in the social media world, as far as I hate to use the word influencers, there's a lot of whiskey influencers that have been involved with Prov in picking some barrels and things like that. So, yeah,
Right.
you.
So if you're in the DMV area or if you're visiting, Dream Spirits is something you might want to check out here locally. And I'm sure he's selling online as well. So maybe just go to their website and check them out. Matt, I'm going to start with you, man.
So on this, I'm gonna go an 8 flat. I'm gonna go an 8 flat on this. I really enjoy this. I think it's great. I'm gonna let Bernie rate it, and then, well, should I plug a ballpark of the price point of this? Because I think for its price point, it's no. Okay, you don't want to. Okay,
that becomes tough.
we'll leave it.
Just
You're
because,
good.
you know,
8 flat.
Yeah. Well, that's funny because I was. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm done.
I was thinking the same thing, man. I was like 8. Matt says 8 flat. I'm like, gosh, we're.
Yeah,
why are we
I know. I just,
I don't
we
like-
really deep down, we were on the Michters. I just changed mine to not match you. But deep down on the
And I was
Michters, we really
about to change mine
But
on
you-
Sazerac, not to
Yeah.
match you, but hey, this is what we do, right? Our palates are similar enough where it's bound to happen, folks.
Yeah.
It is literally bound to happen. So, for this wonderful production, I think it is. Folks, go check it out. Go find it. I'm
Definitely.
going to put it up there on the screen big time. This is the Dream Spirits Straight Rye Whiskey. It is a single barrel cask strength. This one is bottled at 118.2 proof. Matt gives it an 8 out of 10. I also give it an 8 out of 10. I think it's quite delicious. It's certainly a rye fan's rye with being like heavy rye notes, but it's really delivered, I think, with a creaminess that for 118 is delivered to your palate in a balanced fashion. So go check it out. Prov has it over there at One West DuPont. So go check him out. Check out his online site. Shout out to him for picking a sweet barrel right there, folks.
All right.
That's what I got to say about it.
That's what you got to say.
Indeed.
We poured up a little water. Also,
Indeed.
shout out Tim. No one else anywhere on earth will get this aside from me and Tim. He commented it. He said in Montana, we say 6 750 milliliter bottles per gallon. We'll let that be what it is. That is not a factual statement, but that was a miscalculation that maybe existed, maybe didn't exist. We won't claim anything here.
All right.
But there you go. So, water rinse going on. Hope y'all are doing the same at home. Are we plugging a commercial or are we going to the last one, then commercial?
Oh, man. I think that we'll just plug away at what you got going on, man.
Cool.
Anything else new?
We're
in your
going
life,
to
sir?
plug Lost Whiskey. Shout out the hat. Shout out the brand. I don't know if you can see them in the background. Not quite, but that's cool. got some fun things coming up. Be tuned on a Lost Whiskey, maybe Chats collaboration. You never know.
Ooh.
Hang tight.
Ooh, that would be fun.
You never know what we got going on. Shout out if you're, I don't know when it'll air, because I don't think it'll be live, but there is going to be a barbecue competition in New York in which Lost Whiskey will be there partnered up with probably the most famous pitmaster that'll be at the event. Shout out Tuffy Stone from Virginia as well. And we'll be pouring up whiskey, doing cocktails with him while he's throwing down on barbecue, and that will be showcased on the Food Network.
Dope. That's dope.
That'll be super cool. Don't know that'll necessarily be a live thing. Maybe it will. I gotta look into that. So stay tuned for barbecue event on the Food Network, which you'll see Lost at. So,
Indeed. All right. Well, I guess I will just take one more moment just to plug.
Oh, could get what happened?
Just a plug, right? Well, we're gonna go here to Penelope. That's not exactly where I want to be.
Yeah,
but we want to plug Chat's Liquors Countdown Club. The Chat's Liquors Countdown Club, folks, is live at chatsdc.com. Please go check out the page. This is how it works. Every week we pick bottles for $1, $5, or $10 price drop levels. So we have 3 price drop levels currently, 1, 5, and 10. Now, these products on week 1 will be discounted at that particular denomination, $1, $5, or $10. And they will show up on this list. It's online only, folks. Don't come into store, and expect this. Online only. And so if those aren't sold through, the 1 bottle to however many bottles we have in stock aren't sold through on week 1, they then drop by another price point, 1, 5, or 10 denomination, whichever category is in. For week 2, it'll spend 7 days on the countdown list. None are sold, it'll drop down again by that denomination. So for instance, we're in week 2 now.
Screen sharing stuff.
You're
not sharing that screen.
Oh no? Oh, come on, let's
see,
go back.
go.
Okay, well, I thank you so much for letting me know that, Matt. Very good. We need to get this on screen, brother.
Okay,
there
you go.
There we go. I'm so sorry, folks. We were going without the information that you needed. So once again, this is the page here. It'll look like that. And that's the information there. Every week, pick bottles. They'll drop $1, $5, $10 every week. This is an example of our $10 drop category right here. You'll see a Valdecava 3-liter bottle there. A wonderful collector's wine, 3 liters. That means 4 bottles. Yeah, the M.O.T. Lee is on there, folks. The Boss Hog is on there as well. But the next product up, the final product that will be tasted tonight is on that list, folks. We got 1 bottle of it. Also, there's a little Penelope Rio for those folks who've been looking for those Penelope Cooper Series products. But Midwinter's Night Dram, let's click on that. Look at there, folks. It's on the countdown list for $10. But we're in week 2. If I go and add this to cart, because it's week 2, it's currently added to cart. We go to the cart.
$179.99.
Look at that, folks.
On Midwinter.
So we are actually $20 discount right now because it's $10 times the amount of weeks we're at. So we're at week 2. So that's a $20 discount, as you see right there. Folks, it's a fun time. Get engaged. Follow this countdown list. Every Monday, new products will be hitting the list. And old products may still remain. Right? But it's one of those things, man. Let's go to the tagline. The longer it waits, the sweeter the deal. But wait too long,
and it might be gone.
It might be gone, folks. So check out the Countdown Club right there at chatsdc.com/countdown. All right. Let's get back to the whiskey, everybody.
Okay. So we ready to finish it out?
I think so, man. I think so. I'm
All
excited. I'm
right.
excited. I'm excited.
So,
Let's
as
go,
Bernie
everybody.
just mentioned on the countdown, we got a Midwinter's Nights Dram from High West Distillery in Park City, Utah. Again, I've been giving you some sorry pours. I
That's
keep having
fine.
to
I'm
go
just
back.
glad that you catch it. Glad that you catch it, sir.
So, this
Ah,
one is, oh man, Mike really pushing me to my bartending limits. Tim, you want some too?
listen.
I got it. Right.
Okay,
I
good,
got it.
good, good.
So this is Act 11. So
Mm-hmm.
we are talking now that we're here. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, we are 49.3% alcohol, so we're coming out to 98.6 proof. Correct me if my math was wrong. This is straight rye whiskeys finished in port barrels.
Indeed. Well, this is one that's kind of close to my heart, everybody, because you know, I remember way back in the day, this was maybe around 2009, 10, 11. It's probably more like 10 or maybe like 11. 10 or
Okay.
11. My buddy Troy Carnes comes in. He's with Bacchus Importers at the time.
Mm-hmm.
He comes in with this new whiskey brand. He wants to taste me on, but he also brings the founder and owner. So in walks the Chat's Liquors David Perkins, Mr. David Perkins. Such an interesting guy. Oh my gosh, like literally he stayed for maybe 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
Wow.
As always, and any of the suppliers in the DC marketplace, they know to make Chats the last stop. The last stop because, we're going to have the most fun here. But at the same time, I'm ready to drink and enjoy products later in the day. I don't want to do it early.
Yeah.
So back in 2006, David Perkins founded the High West Distillery in Park City, Utah, and they started by distilling some silver spirits. I
Yeah.
remember they were doing an oat spirit, silver oat spirit,
Gotcha.
a silver rye spirit, and what this means is it's an unaged, non-barrel aged product, right? And they were sourcing whiskey from MGP. They were one of the first to really go in and source MGP. And I remember
100%.
starting that tasting with a double rye at that time, a 2-year component and a 6-year component from MGP. Mostly rye at that time as well, right? But we're tasting a 16-year-old MGP rye. We're tasting and enjoying a 21-year-old MGP
Crazy.
rye. Crazy. I so wish, I don't know why I wasn't thinking, I wish I would have saved some of those.
Right.
And if you notice those bottles, it was like this bottling here of Midwinter's Night Dram. It was a hand-blown bottle, but it had different colors added to the bottle. So it was an extremely beautiful, beautiful bottle that those 16 year and 21 years came in. But fast forward now, this was probably once again 09, 2010, something like that. Fast forward 15 or so years, and I just so appreciate how far the High West Distillery products have come. They've become a more major brand within the industry. At some point more recently, purchased by a larger group, and they're really having fun. You'll notice that last week we had some of their bottlings. I want to get it correct. What was the name of these? The
Oh, you have the Cask collection,
Cask
the
collection bottlings, right?
Oloroso, and the Petite
Petite
Sirah.
Sirah, absolutely. So we were just showcasing this last week. So it just so happens that we have their flagship product in-house tonight. And what is that? It is their Midwinter Nights Dram, which is such a fun production. They initially introduced this in 2011, and we just happened to be drinking tonight and showcasing tonight their 11th act. Of course, Midwinter's Night. Dram was a play, all right? Midsummer's Night. So this
So
is
it's a play on it.
a play on
a play.
a play on the Midsummer's Night Dram or Midsummer's Night play. Thank you so much. I'm multitasking here. My eyes are going everywhere.
You good.
But just a little information on this, just so we can properly roll out this Midwinter's Night Dram. High West Distillery, founded in 2006 by David Perkins in Park City, Utah. It's known for its innovative approach of blending and finishing whiskeys. I must say they were the first ever ski in gastro distillery in the world. Right, they're in Park City,
and maybe still the only. I don't know if anyone else has done that or not.
I don't know if anyone else has done that either. Yeah,
at least in the U.S., they are the only ones.
Yeah, well, they're still the only one, but before the U.S. in the world.
Yeah.
So the distillery quickly gained a reputation for producing high quality spirits, so forth, so on. This is their flagship expression. Yeah, I mean, classic rye whiskey style, uniquely finished in port wine barrels to add a depth of sweetness to this offering. So, yeah, fun stuff. Let's just get into it. The rye whiskey is aged at least 6 years. Yeah. No other information here that
it's pretty mild.
shared. Yeah. This Act 11, we're going down to a proof point of 98.6. So after, a height of 118.2, we dropped down 20 proof points, right?
Well, but
so let's see what we get.
We're talking when you go finishes, especially like a port finish, just the level of finish and lingering finish that this has, it's kind of hard to ever jump to something else, or at least something on the table. But shout out to everyone in the comments having a good time. We appreciate y'all. But yeah, so Midwinter's Night Dram, always a fantastic bottle. Every year you get a little variety from it. This one in particular happens to be the one that is sitting on the shelf at Chats. The same, it's Act 11.
It is.
Sitting here, this bottle I bought from Chats, took all the way to Montana with me, and then brought back to DC.
That's this bottle. Wow, nice.
This bottle right here.
Okay, I didn't realize that, Matt. Man, this
So
bottle has been around the country.
Yeah, this bottle has covered some ground.
Indeed.
Well,
welcome back, baby. Welcome back.
Top shelf.
This is fun. This is fun. All right.
This bottle might be sold before the night's up. We'll see.
Who knows? But right now, this bottle is $20 off at chatsdc.com/countdown. But, of course, port cask finishing.
Yeah.
Not cask strength. So we're having to dial our palates back a little bit, right? And what I like the freshness of it. I like that, it's giving a little bit of port, but it's almost in a, aromatically, it gets me in kind of a slightly higher acid wine-like profile instead of like a very heavy port note. So I'm seeing like a little bit more red fruit, maybe for a little bit more Venice-like aromatics from it.
I do feel like this one, surprisingly, as it opens up, where this bottle's been open for a while, I've just been babying it.
Okay.
The richness of the port actually becomes a little more controllable. I think on a fresh crack, sometimes the port characteristics are a little stronger on this than they are right now. I actually think, this one, as most whiskeys or a lot of whiskeys, they drink a little better after they've opened up. But in this instance, I think the finish goes away just a tiny bit, and it actually makes it a little more well-balanced. where when it's a fresh crack, the finish shows a little stronger. Not in a bad way, just I think it's a little more enjoyable now, where that finish, like I said, a little more well balanced. But I adore this bottle.
I also
Yeah.
do wonder.
I really.
High proof, low.
Jumping down low
Yep,
proof.
yep, yep. Well,
Yeah.
I like kind of the approachability of it, as Mike just mentioned, being high proof and then dropping back down to low proof. Our palate has to readjust, right? But some of the finer menthol-like characteristics and finer spices,
Yeah.
the way in which the maybe red wine-esque, this port cask, soften things up and maybe marinate some of the spiciness of the is able to macerate with some of the spiciness of the rye whiskey itself. It gives it a little bit more of a tone of spices, a slightly more savory note as well, kind of in the palate. We're dialing it back or what have you, but there's something nice. It's almost a little bit. It's dry, but almost a little savory saltiness I'm getting.
Yeah, there is a little salinity to it.
Yeah.
As well. And I mean, I really have always, and I even tell people you view this more as like your dessert whiskey, not saying the level of sweetness, but just it's the last dram you're going to have of the night typically. But with how it's drinking tonight, I actually see this pairing nicely with some meals. I'm talking like a hefty steak or even some pasta or something.
Yeah.
I actually see this pairing really nicely with where previously it wasn't something I thought of. I think that salinity, that savoriness pairs nicely with something like that.
Absolutely. Well, in that realm for dessert, I think it could do well with chocolate, like just this savory note that I'm getting.
What do you think about a cheese? Got a little question. We're not necessarily like full-blown chefs over here, but we do have a question about like maybe cheese to go with it.
A cheese, it would have to be something that maybe has a slightly sweeter tones, sweeter savory tone, because of course we're still talking about higher ABV. And when getting into cheese, if you had some cheese and maybe some like maybe salty cured meats with like with of course some breads, but also a little bit of a sweet a sweet marmalade or something with
like
it,
a jam
then
or
that will a jam or a marmalade will help kind of maybe tie
Some
in
brie
a little bit of a little bit of the saltiness of a little charcuterie with some cheeses. Yeah, so not just cheese alone, but maybe the full charcuterie tray.
Gotcha.
Right?
Now we're talking. Now we're
Pepper
talking.
jack.
Pepper
jelly. Oh
some
my
brie,
gosh.
pepper jelly, and some prosciutto,
Folks,
and pair it up
we've
with
enhanced
Midwinter.
it. We've enhanced. We would really enhance.
Now
it.
we're cooking.
Let the cheesecake. Hey,
Well, actually, we're not cooking.
Rhonda Fox, bring in one of the charcuterie board through.
No, but she was
She
here
was,
earlier.
yeah, but she hooked up a charcuterie board once.
Yeah,
And,
she brought one through a big
for a tasting.
one.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed. Absolutely. Well, she had some help, but yep. Absolutely. But this is delightful. Like finishing off this tasting.
I killed it. You're so
Yeah, you did kill it. You did kill it. Finishing off this tasting experience, this Whiskey Wednesday with this particular this particular whiskey is quite enjoyable. I think this is a great way to cap things, and it kind of challenges the palate to come back to form a little bit, right?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely, this is a great way. There's a gentleman in here right before we started the live who was asking about this bottle or mentioned it. And I mean, I think this is a perfect nightcap. Perfect into a Whiskey Wednesday like this. Perfect into your good day at work, your bad day at work, your weekend. This just, as a nightcap in any instance, it's not going to miss.
Right, absolutely. But I will say that possibly, especially compared to other Midwinter's Night Dram products, I think this one hits a level of elegance and a softer profile than some of the others. So if you wanted maybe a bit more intensities of the port, or even a bit more intensity of the rye whiskey itself, then this one is not going to be that most intense
Sure.
expression. I do appreciate that, like some of these, we're talking about pairing this with food, right? Which is something that we may not regularly, with other expressions of Midwinter's Night Dram, even consider, right? Because this one has so much of the port-like Venice wine characteristics, then that's where we kind of start drawing some of this association, right? Like, oh wow, this could be great with foods, with like port. We'll have port after dinner with a charcuterie tray.
Yeah.
Like we're literally having that conversation with this particular whiskey in that essence. So maybe there have been some folks who know the Midwinter's Night Dram, and this may or may not be the favorite within the various acts, within the various series. But like literally placing it as you just did so beautifully, and we had help from, the community here, in a position that the port wood shows up in this expression, and it's in such a unique fashion that it gives greater versatility to this whiskey, right?
100%.
And at the proof point of 98.6, I think it's really dialed in well.
Yeah.
To absorb, some of these like saline, like savory characteristics. The port shows up not in a sweet, offensive way, shows up with some drier complexities, slight oxidative like notes. Nothing too crazy, but then it also reduces some of the whiskey notes into a more refined way.
And
This
I
is
think
fun.
it is super fun also, just to throw it out there. Michter's and High West, I think, are the only two brands who I would spend over $100 for, not this one, for a bottle under 100 proof. At their 10-year products, and them at Midwinter's Night
sure.
Dram, as far as referencing spending over 100 or well over in some cases for a bottle under 100 proof, I don't really know that there's any or many other brands that I would do that for. I mean, plenty of them have offerings, and none of them are bad products. I'm referencing me personally, my budget and whiskeys I value. Those are pretty much the two that I do it. There's a lot of great offerings out there. No disrespect.
Well, I'll just have to fact check on that. But
There's Gatsby. There's Remus Gatsby. Sure.
maybe a Hill Rock Southern Cask finish, which I
they
think
under
is
100
under 100, right?
No.
Maybe I'll have to fact check it, right? I'll have to fact check.
Checking on Sauternes.
And maybe I have to find out where the Old World 12 year is on Whistle Pig. I'm a fan of Old World 12 year and 15 year Whistle Pig, and they're over 100. But there's so much out there. Like, will I still be riding that? Like the Bacta release of rye,
It's
the
great.
1928 under $100. Like that's fun
Crazy.
stuff. So good point.
I'm just referencing me personally.
Indeed.
Me personally.
Indeed. Absolutely.
They're all great products.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah.
I ain't knocking nobody.
Absolutely.
Just, yeah.
Well, whose go is it to start the ratings?
Yours.
All right.
Well, I know what mine is. I'll say it. I don't care. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna go for the uniqueness, the sophistication of this bottling. It is under 100 proof, but I think it's well crafted. It's very well crafted. Now, once again, I might get a little bit of hate on this because there might have been a couple other Midwinter's Night Drams that just, out of the gate, fresh crack, left on the shelf, what have you, that might literally be such competition to this bottling. But I love kind of the finesse, some of the elegance of this particular offering. I'm going 8.5, bro. What about you, Matt? Don't look at me like that.
Because I was going to give it an 8.5.
Nah, are you serious? Come on. What is up with tonight?
I give it an 8.5.
Wow, the ratings. This hasn't happened.
8.5.
This hasn't happened in a long time where we are giving
But I
products
mean, that's just
similar ratings, man. The same rating, not similar. That's absolute same ratings. Wow.
And I mean, I'm on the
Dude.
top, and if we did it, I give it an 8.6 or something like that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
I
Okay.
am at that top end of 8.8. Solid,
8.5, right?
hard 8.5
Yeah.
plus.
The only reason why I didn't go like 8, well, I don't know. But one of the reasons we had these high proofs
Yeah,
and we're dialing
jumping
it back.
down.
And I remember like my past experiences with the Midwinter's Night Dram. I haven't tasted it this open. You opened it what over a
this
year ago?
thing- Yeah, a year and a
Yeah.
half probably.
So I was probably down to the last little bit of a
Yeah.
Midwinter's Night Dram, and I'm probably on a steady 8.5 for that. Tonight is drinking better than I probably have had it.
Right.
This particular act,
It's
and so
great.
I could have been. Yeah, 8.6. Can I be at 8.75?
Right, I don't
That's so
know.
close to
Yeah, I
9. I
know.
don't know.
Yeah.
I'm very confident at 8.7, at 8.5
Okay.
for this bottling right now. I haven't tasted it this good. It may have been that trip that you and Ellie made to Montana,
just needed to
having
take
it up
that
there in
ride
that
and come
cold
back.
weather
Yeah.
up there. You know,
You never know.
may have gotten some of that a high peak esque, kind of grace from
Yeah.
above, into the bottling. I don't know, and you brought it back to DC.
Never know.
There you go. Absolutely.
It's been through a lot of trial and tribulation.
Indeed.
And it's
Well,
helped us through some nights, so
hey, tonight, High West, a Midwinter's Night Dram at 11. This is a blend of rye whiskeys finished in port casks. It's from Park City, Utah, folks. You can ski right down into the restaurant distillery and have a good old time. Shout out to David Perkins. I don't know what you're doing these days, but I need to look you up to see,
Hopefully having a good
what your
time.
affiliation might still be. I don't
Yeah,
think
I
you're still with it,
I don't
but
believe he has any
you're
affiliate.
you probably own an island at this point.
Yeah. You living a good life right now if I'm a betting
There you
man.
go, and working on your next, probably already started your next venture. So shout out to him. If you see this, shoot me a note, sir. And gosh, it's been a fun time, fun time. And Matt, anything else that you want to speak about before we finish up this Whiskey Wednesday, sir?
No, I don't think so. I mean, just plugging again the countdown
A little
at
bit more.
chatsdc.com. Go to the countdown page, watch these as the deals get better. Gamble a little bit. You can keep waiting for a better deal, but you might miss out altogether. And we want to plug that in stock here at Chats Liquors is this Midwinter's Night Dram Act 11, as well as a Michter's Barrel Strength Rye. Those two bottles are currently in stock here at Chats. We're always going to shout out Lost Whiskey, and the crew. Shout out Nick and Mark. Shout out Ares as well, the man who doesn't get enough shout outs.
Indeed. Shout out Black Draft Distillery. You can't
For
see,
sure.
since we've been going live, especially to YouTube. Folks, we are live on YouTube. YouTube.com/@chatsliquors. But we've gone to this landscape mode. And you miss seeing our Black Draft barrels that the tabletop sits upon. But shout out to Black Draft. They're still, so close to Chats Liquors. In our hearts and spirits, we'll be taking a little trip out there again soon and having some fun with them, as well as Lost Whiskey Club. So please be engaged.
And engagement might earn you being able to be a part of the experience. You never know.
Indeed.
So
Indeed.
don't miss out.
For sure. And in somebody's backyard, right? Out there in Martinsburg,
never
West
know.
Virginia, so in somebody's backyard. This was right here in the house. I remember that.
We'll give a belated happy birthday to Joy. Behind the camera, you can't see,
Wow.
but belated happy birthday.
We're raising the glass.
To Joy.
We're
Yeah,
raising
I
the
don't
glass.
have-
Everybody
You got a
needs a
little-
little bit of something in the
something?
glass. Mike, pour
come
everybody
on.
up something, man.
Mike,
Pour the-
here, this is what's in here and open.
Oh, maybe you all didn't try that.
Yeah,
so,
they haven't tried it. So
definitely.
pour a little something for everyone.
Yeah,
Cheers for a belated birthday.
that good Sazerac straight
To
rye. This is
Mrs.
Barrel
Joy.
Select by Capital Tater Society.
Always the life of the party.
For a certain
Out here.
T Woods, hold your glass behind the camera. There
What we
you
got
go.
here? is this?
Indeed.
Oh,
Okay,
great.
okay.
We'll
Well,
let
it's a
that be.
party, folks.
We're not going to mention that.
For sure. Well, what
Um,
happens at chat stays at chat.
Whoa, Mike,
So
come
we
on.
better go ahead and log
Go ahead,
off
Phil.
now because more folks are here and it's a party. It's a party.
It's a party.
Hey.
Shout out Walker Flock and
We'll
Grove Street.
see. Absolutely. We're going to see you in 7 days, folks, if not sooner, right here at Chats. Thanks, Matt, for everything you do, brother.
Cheers, y'all.
Cheers, everybody. Happy birthday, Joy.
Cheers.
Happy
Good
birthday,
night.
Tyrone Powell.
Shout out T-Bone.
T-Bone himself. He's not here tonight. Happy birthday to you. Belated. Yesterday was his birthday.